The women's 400 meters hurdles final produced a performance that shocked the entire stadium and completely changed the history of the championship. In this video, we take a detailed look at the race that destroyed a 20-year-old championship record and delivered one of the fastest and most competitive finals ever seen at this level. We'll analyze Alexandra Ut's aggressive opening strategy, Tumba's incredible comeback through the final curve, and the technical details that separated gold from silver in the last meters. This was not just a fast race. It was a final where multiple athletes reached the highest level of their careers at the same moment. Records fell, personal bests exploded, and a new generation announced itself on the biggest stage.
Rapidly improving Dutch woman, Abigail Noruga, ran a personal best in Angelo, and we saw Meta Tumba, world under 20 champion, and this woman was really impressive, winning her semi-final in a national, not just under 20 but under 23 record of 57.16. Arabella Wilson is just a fraction away from her personal best in her semi-final, boast of a best of 57.49. Petra Lik, second on the European list this year, behind Tumba, and on the inside, Mila Haikonen, best of 57.10 from last year. Haikonen's had a busy day. She was in the 100 metres hurdles heats this morning, made the semi-finals. So Tumba leads the European lists with 56.76, which she did on home soil in Cargé-Pontoise. However, she hasn't looked great in the heats and semi-finals. Tumba has Hambridge, Uta, who's probably her closest rivals, but this is a very evenly matched race. Cleanly away at the first time of asking. Lane 7, Uta flying over the first bend. It's Uta on the outside who's running really well. Also Tumba looking a lot better than she did in semi-finals and the heats. She's up on the shoulder of Noruga. And Tumba now starting to close the gap on Uta in lane 7. But Uta's still in really good shape. Clearly clearing the hurdles. Running well on the inside, Hambridge as well at the moment, but it's between Tumba and Uta. It's the women in lanes 5 and 7. And Tumba now, well, she saved her best for last. It's the Frenchwoman with a metre lead coming into the home straight. She's running really well. Uta, though's a really fast finisher. She's starting to close. She's really attacking. Uta's attacking Tumba. Tumba's running out of steam. It's going to be the Romanian. Well, let's just wait for confirmation of that time, because it's probably a new championship record. Yes, it is. Uta's confirmed. 55.56. She's smashed a record which has been on the books for 20 years. Tumba runs faster than she's ever done before and improves her own French under-20 record to 55.56. And some way distant, but still running better than any other Estonian's done. Bronze goes to Hambridge, 56.71. What a fantastic performance, and just like the men, personal best for the first 4 women home.
Well, there were 2 brilliant races going on there, Phil. Uta with a massive championship record, just out-dipping Tumba, the world under-20 champion. And Hambridge came back at Haikonen brilliantly. Haikonen in lane 1 had the whole crowd on their feet because, yes, whilst Uta was coming back at Tumba, most in the stand were watching Haikonen, hoping that she could hang on for the bronze, but Hambridge just came through to deny the Finn what would have been a wonderful moment.
The women's 400 meters hurdles final was not simply another championship race. It became a perfect example of how quickly the event is evolving and how a new generation of athletes is beginning to erase limits that once looked untouchable. For nearly 20 years, the championship record of 55.89 had survived every challenge. Different generations had come close, talented athletes had tried, but the mark always remained. What happened in this final changed that completely. From a tactical perspective, the race was fascinating because the athletes approached it with very different strategies. Alexandra Ut committed aggressively from the opening stages, especially through the first bend, where she immediately established rhythm and cadence. In the 400-meter hurdles, rhythm is everything. Athletes cannot simply sprint between barriers without control, because even one adjustment can destroy momentum across the second half of the race. Ut understood this perfectly. Her stride pattern remained clean and efficient early, which allowed her to maintain speed without wasting energy. Tumba approached the race differently. Her earlier rounds suggested she was conserving energy and avoiding unnecessary risks. Even though she entered the final as the European leader and reigning World Under-20 champion, she had not yet shown her maximum level during the championship. That made the final extremely dangerous for the rest of the field, because everyone knew she still had another gear available. The first 150 meters immediately revealed the quality of the race. Usually in junior championship finals, athletes become cautious after the opening hurdles because the pressure affects timing and hurdle clearance. Here, the opposite happened. The leaders attacked harder with every section. Alexandra Ut looked particularly impressive entering the back straight because her hurdle technique stayed compact under speed. Her lead leg snapped down quickly, and she avoided the floating motion that often appears late in long hurdle races. That efficiency allowed her to keep accelerating while others were already beginning to tighten. Tumba's response was equally important. Rather than panic when Ut gained early ground, she trusted her strength over the final half of the race. By hurdle 6, her momentum began to build. Her stride frequency increased noticeably, and suddenly, the gap between the two athletes disappeared. This phase of the race demonstrated why Tumba has already become one of the most respected young hurdlers in Europe. Her ability to maintain velocity deep into the race separates her from many athletes at this age category. The decisive moment came entering the home straight. Tumba appeared to have control after producing a powerful transition off the final curve. Normally, when an athlete moves ahead before hurdle 9 in a 400-meter hurdles final, the race is effectively over because fatigue becomes overwhelming over the last 80 meters. But UT produced something exceptional. Instead of fading under pressure, she became even more efficient technically. Her posture remained stable, her arms stayed controlled, and most importantly, she attacked the final hurdle without hesitation. That final hurdle decided the championship. Tumba cleared it well, but Ut attacked it with slightly more aggression and carried more speed on landing. In races decided by hundredths of a second, the smallest technical advantage becomes massive. Over the final meters, UT's turnover rate was simply superior. While Tumba fought to maintain form, Ut continued driving forward with remarkable composure. The winning time of 55.56 was historic for several reasons. First, breaking a championship record that had lasted since 2005 immediately places the performance into elite territory. Second, the manner of the performance mattered even more than the number itself. This was not a solo run against a weak field. It was a high-pressure championship final where multiple athletes pushed each other beyond their previous limits. Those are the conditions where truly great races are created. Tumba's performance should not be overlooked despite finishing second. In many championships, her time would have comfortably won gold. Lowering her national under-20 record under that level of pressure confirms her long-term potential internationally. The fact that she produced her fastest race ever while being chased and challenged throughout the entire final speaks volumes about her mentality and competitive strength. Hambridge's bronze medal in 56.71 added another important layer to the race. Her personal best reflected the extraordinary pace set by the leaders. Often when championship finals become extremely fast, only one or two athletes survive the pace while the rest collapse late. Here, the quality extended across almost the entire field. The first 4 athletes all produced lifetime bests, which is rare in any championship final and almost unheard of in an event requiring such technical precision. Another reason this final stood out was the consistency of hurdling quality. Young athletes frequently lose races in the 400-meter hurdles, not because of lack of speed, but because fatigue destroys technical discipline. In this race, the leaders continued attacking barriers deep into the final straight. That showed not only physical preparation, but also elite race intelligence and emotional control under pressure. This final may ultimately be remembered as a turning point for the next generation of European women's hurdling. The event is becoming faster, more aggressive, and technically cleaner every season. Athletes are no longer racing simply to win medals. They are attacking records from the opening gun. Alexandra Ut's victory symbolized that shift perfectly. What made the race unforgettable was not only the record itself, but the way the athletes forced each other into history. Every major championship produces winners. Very few produce races that redefine expectations. This women's 400 meters hurdles final did exactly that and secured its place among the greatest championship races of the modern era.